What's going on, CARP crew? Welcome back.
And if you're new to our channel, I'm Devin.
I'm Logan, and we've got an exciting video for you today. We know that our Day in the Life Security Forces video was a hit, so why not do a BMT experience, both male and female? So get ready. Alright guys, first up to bat, Devin with week 0.
So week 0 was, as weird as it sounds, the first week for the entire BMT process. So it was getting on a bus, driving into good old Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. And as soon as we pulled up to this random building, we saw 2 MTIs standing outside. And I remember kind of looking around like, what do we do? And then within seconds, they were both on the bus, screaming their heads off, saying, get off the bus, get off, do this, do that, get in line, women over here, men over here, do this. And you had 30 seconds to do it all. And if you didn't do it in 30 seconds, they told us we're gonna have to start right back over. So it was crazy because girls were getting in the guys' lines and guys were getting the females' lines, and nobody really knew what was going on. They're still counting down at you. You have to have all your bags with you. And again, you're brand new. You have absolutely no idea what's going on. And then they shoved us into this random building, and they gave us this terrible lunchbox. Did you get it? It was a brown lunchbox, and it had, oh, it was just terrible. I think I ate the pretzels, and I had a drink. I think it was like a Capri Sun. Other than that, I did not eat it. It was like, the turkey was slimy, I'm pretty sure. It was not a great experience. And then we sat and we got these BMT,
SG.
Yeah, but we called it like the BMT Bible. And you had to live and breathe this book, because that is all you were allowed to do. If you were not busy, you were reading that book. And they set us up in these rows, and you were waiting for everybody to file in. And as soon as the last person got to that building is when they finally were like, okay, go get back in line. You're gonna meet your MTIs. So we all got back in the line. They told us where to sit, and we stood there and we waited, and we met like one of the 3 MTIs that we were supposed to have. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna take you back to the room. And so we went back to our dorms. That's what they were called. And we got to the dorm room. We got our beds assigned to us, and they were like, okay, it's 12 o'clock. We'll be here at 4:30. And we were like, what? I remember thinking, I need like at least 7 hours of sleep if I'm gonna function. And they did not care. So we went to bed, and I laid down, and I said, what the freak did I just do to myself? It's the first thing I thought of. And I cried. Oh, I cried a lot. And that was just the first day. How was your first day?
My first day was quick. It didn't feel quick then, but when I woke up, I definitely felt it. Because like her, I got off the bus, got screamed at a bunch, got made to go back on the bus about 5 more times before they finally let us stay off of the bus. And then we sat in that one room where we were given all of our immediate necessities, like that BMT Bible, BMT SG, or whatever you may know it by. So we sat in there forever, finally got done in that room, got assigned our MTI, who was this giant dude. I remember watching all the MTIs come in and saying, God, please don't let that one be my MTI. Boom, he was my MTI for the whole entire BMT process. It was terrible, but he ended up being one of the greatest dudes I've met, actually. After that, I mean, I don't think we got back to our dorm until like 3 in the morning. So I was like, oh my. Well, they'll probably, because we were all speculating at that point, all of us people sitting in the room, and we're like, yeah, they probably won't wake us up till like 8 or 9. No, they woke us up at 6, 3 hours later, and I was just like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, and getting screamed at too. So I mean, that was night 1, and then that kind of just takes us into 0 week, like.
Yeah, so I did, before we continue, want you guys to know that this is mine and Logan's experiences. Very different from what people are experiencing now, and a lot different from what people were experiencing before us. We did not get the wrath of what a lot of people before us that joined did. And now it's a lot different too, from a lot of the new airmen coming in and just talking to them about what they did and didn't do.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there. Don't go in saying, well, Devin and Logan said this was gonna happen and it didn't, or it went a completely different way. So I just wanted to shove that one in here real quick. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, be prepared to be naked in front of 40 other human beings, obviously of the same gender, because that's how it's gonna be for the next 8 weeks, 7 weeks, different times, because they change it all the time. So yeah, we woke up that morning. 2 girls from a higher week that had already been in were like, all right, undress, go in the shower, you have 10 minutes. We're like, oh, 10 minutes to shower? They're like, nope, you have 10 minutes to shower, get dressed, have your hair up in a military bun. I didn't know how to do one, and be on the wall. Your MTI is gonna be waiting for you. And we hadn't met this MTI yet, it was a new one, because they changed them last minute. So we're like, okay, so you literally drop your clothes, you hang your towel, you showered, you had to shampoo and condition your hair. If you're like me, absolutely had to do both because my hair gets really dry fast. So I was freaking out. I was like, how am I gonna shave? How am I gonna do that? I was like, oh my goodness, it was insane. Also had to brush your teeth, and then your areas had to be cleaned. And at the time we only had civilian clothes still. So we threw on our little sneakers that we brought, and then we were on the wall literally within 10 minutes. They were not joking, because we were getting screamed at. And I remember thinking, if these girls are screaming at us, how the heck are these MTIs gonna be?
Big facts.
And then let's see, that was just like into day 1. Then they sat you down and you got issued all your ABU stuff. So you got your boots and your blouse and your pants and everything that came with it. And they were like, okay, you're gonna wear your boots for half a day, and then you're gonna wear your sneakers for the second half. So that was the week of sneaker weekers. The worst week.
The losers.
Literally the scum of BMT, because you looked like an idiot with ABUs
and sneakers on.
Yeah. So then once you were issued everything, we went back to the dorms and we had to change into everything. Girls, highly suggest you learn how to do a military bend, because day 1, if you don't know how to, they would still yell at you. They don't care. They didn't care at all, actually. One pulled my hair out because I had a loose string. So look that up on YouTube, literally just how to do a military bend, and it will pop up, promise. They're everywhere.
True.
And then, you wanna explain chow? How fun chow is?
Yeah. So you have these chow runners, which, you know, God bless whoever your chow runners are, because that position sucks. You know, you're lined up in like 4 elements, 4 rows, and you have a designated guy or 2 of them that go up, and they pretty much direct you into the chow hall in a nice, neat, orderly fashion. And with it's your flight sitting there, but there's also 16 other flights next to you, all trying to get into this chow hall on both ends. So wasn't it yours? Like there was the chow hall had doors on each end.
Oh yeah, there was 2 sides.
2 sides.
Yeah.
So you have your 16 here, like eating, and then you have another group of people on the other side, all just hauling ass into this dining facility trying to get in. And so these chow hall guys are like just trying their best to get everybody in a nice, neat, and orderly fashion, and they're messing it up just because it's their first week, barely like have had any sleep, and they're just screwing it up, getting screamed at. They're taking all of the trauma from these MTIs, getting us in there. And then when we get in there is when we start getting screamed at by MTIs because we're not walking fast enough, we're not sidestepping, we're looking around when we're in there. You can't do anything right in there. You literally can't. So when you go in for the first time, just know that you're gonna breathe wrong and get yelled at, just because that's what they want. They want to instill that fear in you right away. So you'll get down, you'll get your food finally, you'll sit down, and before you even have a spoon in your mouth, they're like, all right, let's get up, go, let's go. And you're just like, oh, I understand how this goes now. You have to eat incredibly fast if you want.
Drink 2 cups of water.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that rule.
You had to drink 2 cups of, at least 1 cup of water and then a cup of something else.
Yeah.
And if you were not done with that, they would literally stare at you and watch you finish that cup.
Yeah, I remember that now. I'm not really a big water drinker, so that was really rough for me, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I would pour my second glass of water into my buddy's cup because
okay, don't do that. All right. Also, a major thing that I want to backtrack on, explain your haircut process when you first got there.
For males?
Yeah.
Okay, so
females don't have to do anything.
Yeah. So there would be idiots that would show up with huge beards, afros, mohawks, mullets, cornrows, whatever you have it, shaggy hair. Like, these idiots, like, their recruiters must not have given them the briefing that, like, hey, you're gonna literally have the worst barber's experience of your life because these guys literally don't care. So you go in there, you get in a line, and you form up behind each individual barber, and you just wait for your turn. So then you come up, sit down, they have like the razor or whatever with the hose attachment, so it just sucks the hair right off your head pretty much. And so they just, like 5 just hard swipes across your head and they make you bald, like, and you'll blink and you're bald. So, but for these idiots that have like frozen stuff, like, I don't know how that feels like, but I can only imagine just getting all of that hair ripped off in like 6 swipes. Like, that has to hurt so bad. And then the beard, they're not gentle with that either. You're gonna get screamed at, for 1, for coming to military training with a beard, and 2, like, you're just gonna start yourself out on a wrong foot because you're gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I mean, the haircut procedure is pretty quick, and you all looked the same after that. So I mean, that was kind of cool, but it sucked for me, at least, not having hair, because my hair is everything.
Yeah, we all know, Logan, we know. So now we're gonna collab week 1 and 2 because they're kind of like the same things going on.
Yeah.
So now we're into classes. So the Air Force is more class oriented. Because we're supposed to be like the smarter branch. Yeah, I know I'm gonna get backlash on that, but so with the classes you went in, it was you and your brother flight for females, and then you sat right next to them but did not talk to them. You were not allowed to talk to them. If you fell asleep, whoof,
Wrecked.
whoof.
Wrecked.
So a lot of people, and this is a trick that I learned midway through, they give you hand sanitizer, you do a little sniff, woke you right up.
Or hot sauce under the eyes.
Yeah, I don't know how they got hot sauce into the classrooms, but
We've become really skilled.
yeah, you do. So yeah, so you're doing your classes, you're learning about different things, and this is all to prepare you for your final test at the end of BMT, which is your EOC that you have to pass.
Yeah.
To be in the Air Force. A lot of people freaked out about it. It really wasn't.
I will say that. We'll save that.
Yeah, we'll say that. So yeah, so now you're in your classrooms, and now you're also doing all your medical appointments, all of your shot appointments. So you've probably seen the videos where it's a military member walking down a line of people on each side, just psh, 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 psh.
It's literally how it is.
And that's how it is. That is not fake.
No.
That's what they do.
And then they save the penicillin shot for last, which
called
is
the peanut butter shot, right?
peanut butter shot.
Into
Your butt cheek.
your butt, and it hurts.
It hurts so bad.
It
You have to
really,
rub it
yeah.
to, like, because it's like pretty much like a gel that goes into your butt, and you gotta just massage it and keep it evenly spread out around wherever it was shot into. So, but the funniest thing is, like, there'd be people that they asked if you were allergic to it, but there was people that had never got a penicillin shot before, so they would not know if they were or weren't allergic to it. So we had a couple guys that, like, literally on the march back to the dorms after the penicillin shot, they would just fall out and just hit the ground hard as hell just because they were allergic to it, and we had to haul them off to the military doctor.
CMC.
CMC.
I remember it. Been there a couple times.
Or CMC.
So yeah, so that was like week 1.
And
2. You got your CAC.
Oh yeah.
The glorious first CAC of the military is the single worst picture.
The most humbling picture of your entire life.
Yes, because ladies, you don't wear makeup.
No. No sleep.
Don't show up with eyelash extensions either. Oof. We had a girl who had long eyelashes and she got yelled at every day.
Bish, please.
And yeah, that picture was rough. And I had it till it expired.
Yeah.
I was told every day to get rid of it.
Well, week 2 was also your first inspection, like clothing inspection, because you had been wearing your ABUs for long enough. So they're like, all right, let's do an ABU inspection. Hey, guess what? You're never gonna be right with those ABUs. They're gonna find something every single time. They even do that now to this day. Like, you're never, ever gonna have a flawless uniform. Someone's always gonna critique you.
No, there might be one, and I always think it's the MPI's favorite, but
facts.
That's just me being me.
Facts.
You also are into your PT at this point. So Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays were running days, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I want to say some Saturdays.
I can't remember.
I can't. Saturdays. Yeah, but weekends were supposed to be free, but I can't. For some reason, I keep thinking Saturdays are your core days. So on the running days, you ran for 30 minutes, and then at the very end you did sprints.
Yeah.
And then you had a red belt if you were
trash
slow. You had a yellow belt, and then you had a green belt, and then you had a blue belt. I was a green belt.
Blue belt for life, baby. Day 1.
I had to fight for that green belt. I'm not a runner. So then on
PT right here,
core days, you had to do, like, literally it's just all core and push-ups. Push-ups, so core and strength.
Yep.
And then I think every 3 weeks you do a PT test?
Yeah, so there was week 1, week
3?
Ooh, three, week 5. I'm pretty sure it was just every other week we had a PT assessment, and then on week 6 is when we had our actual final PT test.
And you had to, like, pass it, or you got put into a, like, medical flight, and you had to stay there, and you worked out. Literally, that's all you did. You worked out until
We called it the fat kid
you
flight.
passed. That's not what we called it.
I call it the fat kid flight.
It's just, we called it the injured people. It was rude.
Whatever.
All right, moving on to the next 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So
I really couldn't tell you a thing about week 3. I think it was class. I could tell you about week 4, but I could not tell you one thing about week 3.
well, week 3 was when you got your blues.
Was it?
Yeah, and that was like the best freaking day of my entire life in BMT.
You didn't even get
And you got to wear your name tapes.
on your ABUs?
Yeah, because remember you didn't have your name tapes on your ABUs?
Oh, yeah.
You were literally nobody. And then you got your name tapes and you felt like you were a person again.
Yeah, I forgot about that. See, that shows...
It's all mushed. And I mean, granted it was 4.5 years ago, but it just mushed into my career.
A lot of PTSD.
There's no PTSD from it. And then, so yeah, so you got your blues, you got fitted for your blues, and then you had to make sure that you stayed in that shape because a lot of people lost a lot of weight or gained a lot of weight and then had to get them altered at the end. And then next, you talk about week 4 because I know what week 4 is.
You already know what I'm about to talk about. That gas chamber.
Ugh.
I don't even know if they do that anymore, honestly. Cause
no, I think they have to.
I don't know. I was looking through their curriculum not too long ago, and I did not see gas chamber one time, unless they cram it all into the last week now. But the gas chamber was single-handedly the one thing I was anticipating and dreading before I even enlisted, because, you know, my dad and my brother were in the military, so I already was getting, what do you call it? They were already like trying to mess with me about it, telling me it was gonna be the worst thing ever. And it was. It definitely was. I didn't like it. So they get you on a bus and they haul you out to wherever these chambers are. I honestly couldn't tell you. Felt like I was blindfolded the whole way, but I think I was sleeping. And
probably the bus rides were time for your naps.
Anytime you get on a bus, you better rack the F out. So we got there, we got in a huge line. We were, got instructed on how to put our hazmat gear on, in pants, tops, bottoms, boots. You figured out like what each mop level was. That sucked too, because in Texas, if you go in the hot months, putting all that gear on and off, on and off, on and off, doing all the drills for mop levels in the scorching Texas heat.
Well, that was Beast Week.
No, they did our hazmat drills, before we went into the gas chamber.
Oof, we did not have to do that.
Yeah, it was trash. And then, so we finally, after all that work, sweating, wanting to die, had to go through the chamber. And so it's a big square pretty much. So think of a big square room with a cauldron in the middle of it. And they have the, what do they call that thing?
It's tear gas.
Yeah, they have a little tear gas in the middle and they set it right there. And you all are pretty much set up in a perimeter around that square, thankfully. So pro tip for everybody. There's a door, like when you walk straight through, straight across from you is the door out. So try and set yourself up to be right next to the exit door because you're the first one out. If you're on the other side, you're gonna be the last one out and probably hate your life and be scarred. So I was like, I think the second one out. So what they do is you'll be sitting in there and I'm pretty sure they let you keep your mask on for a while, do some checks or whatever, make sure it works. And you're doing good, you're like, wait, this isn't so bad. And then they're like,
don't you have to do jumping jacks?
Yeah, do jumping jacks to get your heart rate going, build sweat a little bit, so when the tear gas hits your sweat, it hurts even better. And so then you get done and they're like, all right, pop your masks. And so
and say your reporting statement.
You say your reporting statement. Sir, what is it, sir?
Sir, trainee, what your last name was, reports as ordered.
Yeah, so like you're like, okay, I'm gonna say it as fast as I can. You pop your thing off, you're like, sir, you can't get it out and you can't leave until you all finish it. You literally, they go around the thing and they make sure each and every one of you finishes it. So if one idiot can't say it, like you're all screwed. You're all just eating all of this tear gas and just, you actually feel like you're dying because you cannot breathe. So finally we get done. Everybody says their reporting statement. I'm second one out. I haul ass out of the door and I'm puking. I'm dry heaving, I'm snotting, like everything that could come out of my face literally was coming out of my face at the same exact time.
I was told if you were sick, it was the best thing to go through because it got, literally you were, like your snot was just like coming out your mouth or in your nose,
it was
obviously.
miserable. And so they just have you walk in a circle or a square until you are recovered and you get your eyesight back and all that shit. But after you're done, it's the best feeling ever. You're like, all right, I never have to do that again because in my 4 years or close to 4 years, have yet to go back in the gas chamber.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So week 5 was drill. You started learning your actual like marching drills with your flight because you did get tested on this for week 6. So they started practicing drill and then you were all shoved on a bus and you were sent to Beast Week. That
was the most anticipated week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically a lot of, you're running drills every day, you're sleeping in tents, you're in like a group, so there's like names to each of the groups.
Yep.
And you're basically competing against the other groups. They're getting you ready for like the last day that you're there, which is like a Friday. And basically all you're doing is preparing for MOP. So they teach you how to cordon, they teach you what gear you're supposed to be in, you're eating MREs for the entire time that you're there. And MREs did not go well with me at all.
No.
Made me
constipated.
Yeah, and I threw up a lot just because it's a lot of
what's
food.
the word?
It's like a lot of carbs and calories.
A lot of carbs and it's a lot of like, it starts with a P. What's that word?
Protein. I don't know.
No.
Anyway.
Preservatives.
Yeah. So that was Beast Week, and then you got to do this little graduation ceremony, and they played like God Bless America. Whew, let me tell you what, I cried.
Yo, Toby Keith gets me every time. Every time.
We all cried. I will never forget that. Like, it wasn't even that sad, but you were like, thank God this week is over.
It was the best week.
But I will say the cafeteria food was great there.
Oh, you're talking about in like that
Yeah,
little
in the
tent thing?
Beast. Oh my gosh, it was great.
It had like teriyaki, like tenderloins or something.
The chicken.
Oh fire.
And then I was like, we don't want to go back to the one that we had in the dorm wasn't bad.
It was just the same thing.
Yeah, over and over. So it was like grilled cheese Jesus, which was on Sundays.
Facts. Sundays are the best days.
Cheeseburger Thursdays is when we had them. Chicken nuggets. I made a lot of peanut butter and banana sandwiches. You get very crafty in the chow hall.
You really do.
You make up really weird things because you just get really tired of eating the same thing.
Shit.
So, but I lost weight when I was in, so I guess it did something for me. And I went each day by like my meal. So I was like, I just got to get through the first meal, and then I got to get to the second meal, then I got to get to the third meal, and the day's over. So that's how you find something to go by.
Most of the time it's meals.
Yeah.
It's like your markers.
And then on everybody's Bibles, they wrote 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
In blocks.
Yeah, and would color out each time the week was over, and that was kind of, it was, you'll do it. You'll see it, and you'll do it too, I promise you.
Motivation.
And then what's next?
Week 6.
Week 6 is...
That's the make or break week.
Yeah.
All your tests, all your evals, all your inspections, your dorm inspections.
Blues inspections.
Yeah, make sure all your wall lockers are all like nice and tidy, because up until those weeks you're getting yelled at for not having your t-shirts rolled perfectly or your socks rolled. That was the worst. I would literally pay people in protein bars.
Ooh, protein
I would
bars.
pay them in protein bars to roll my shit for me, because that's not my thing.
They don't do special K bars anymore.
Yeah, no?
No, they do something else.
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
Listen, special K bars, if you had a protein bar,
you were the plug.
Were the you know what word I want to say?
SHIT.
Yes, because those things were like money in basic.
Yeah. Currency.
And then you did your drill eval. Not everybody did it, so we like picked the best people so that we could.
I did not participate in the drill eval. I stayed and did ECP duty because I was trash.
And so while you're doing this, each week, like your scores and everything goes to, you're trying to be the best flight. And there's, I think
there's 4.
No, there's like 20.
Well, yeah, there's 20 flights.
Yeah, so there's like warrior flight, honor flight, top PT flight.
Top PT flight right here.
Same for females.
Were you top female PT? Individual? Because I was. Let's go.
No, I was not. I passed my PT, and that's all I cared about. All right, and then that's when you did your EOC.
Yep.
So it's like this big test about everything that you've been learning, and that little nice BMT Bible that you had.
All in one
test. It was easy to me.
Yeah.
I thought if you studied, and you actually studied, and you have a lot of time to study.
Yes, you do.
So that was kind of like nothing for us. I think my class, one person failed one the first time, and then she passed the second.
Was it one
you
week
you get 3 tries.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's how bad they want you in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So if you can't pass it 3 times, they actually end up kicking you out.
Which you should be, because if you fail that thing 3 times, you need help. You should work at McDonald's.
And then the best week.
Capstone week?
No.
Oh, graduate. I was like,
the best week was graduation week. You got to go to the BX basically every single day because they had nothing for you to do.
I got no.
Oh, well,
no.
We went to the BX
no.
like every day because we had nothing to do.
Absolutely not.
And then we got to prepare everything. We had to get to set up our lockers for our family members, and we set up everything on our beds, and they come on a Thursday, and that's when you do the run or the coin ceremony.
No, it's the run and then the coin ceremony.
Yeah. So you do this nice little run, and all your families are out there cheering for you. They specifically tell you not to wave. We had a person wave. And you run, and you're doing your chants with your flights, and then you go back into your room, and then you change, you get ready, and that's when you go into your coin ceremony and your ABUs, and then you get your Air Force coins stating that you
are an airman,
that you made it, and then
Mama made it.
You stand there and pray at parade rest, and you basically wait for your families to come and tap your shoulder. And then it's like the best moment in your entire life because you finally get to hug your family and see them. you spend the entire Thursday with them, and then you have to be back by a certain time. And then Friday comes, and that's when you're in the graduation.
Yep.
And you do like the
parade.
walk. Yeah, I was the flag flight, so I had to carry a freaking flag.
Yeah, I did not do any of that.
It sucked.
They just kept me in the back because I couldn't march. I still couldn't march.
It sucks. But then same thing. So they do it twice. So like, say your mom wants to do it one time, your dad wants to do it the second time, or you have a husband or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a wife or whatever you have, a baby, a sister or brother, they tap you and you get to see them and spend the day with them again.
Yep.
Then you get to spend all day with them on Saturday, and you get to spend all day with them on Sunday, and then
Unless someone royally messes up.
yes. And then so like, we're gonna throw in the little additives and give you some like key points that I am realizing as we're talking, that you're probably gonna ask later anyway. And then you check in on Sunday, and then that's when we went to Capstone.
Which is pretty much just them acclimating you to life in the Air Force, like what now airmen is what they call them, which is pretty much just like scenarios that they run you all through in a group debacle type setting, where they'll play you something on TV, ask what your opinion is. They pretty much do that for a week straight, just trying to
let me tell you
you.
what, if you're gonna be security forces, it's not for you, because our tech school is nothing like any other of the tech schools.
No.
You do not get to do half the stuff that they are doing in that Capstone. So just FYI, don't get your hopes up.
If you are security forces, you better be ready for just BMT round 2.
Yeah.
Because
until later down in the middle.
Yeah, I guess, but
yeah, that could be a video too.
Yeah, that could be the next one if this one is a favorite.
Yeah, so little additives that I'm sure you have questions, so we can wrap this up.
Yep.
Because it's pretty long. Letters.
Yo, I was so pissed with my letters. I was writing letters like every day, not getting a single letter back. And then I guess turned out to be there was like a delay in the system, and my mail was just backed up and none of it had got to me yet. So week 3 was when I got my first letter, while all my other flight mates are getting letters from their moms and stuff, and I'm just like crying myself to sleep every night because I don't have a letter to my mom. And so like literally the day before I got my mom's letter, I wrote one and sent one, pretty much telling her she sucked for not sending me a letter.
God.
I went off on my mom. I was like, you don't care about me, you're not writing me, what the heck? Sent it. Literally the next day I had 5 letters from my mom, and I was like, I'm gonna hear about this one when she gets here.
Yeah.
And I did.
So you basically, when you wrote the letters, you found very creative places, because you weren't supposed to write at night.
Yep.
So I would go to the bathroom and sit in the toilet and write my letters. When we had our free time, we would write our letters. And yeah, and then you had like this, at the end of the day, every day, you would sit in like your community room, I don't remember what it's called, and they would hand out your letters and let you read them, and everybody knew if you got one or didn't get one.
Yep.
So it sucked, and that was like the only time you were allowed to talk to your flight members and your MTI.
It's called Airman's Time.
Yeah, and that was like the best time, because you finally got to talk after being silent for an entire
And
day.
your MTI was like cool, like he was like a normal person for
yeah.
like that 30-minute period, and you would leave and you would just be like, okay,
yeah, like a switch.
back to it. I'm like, damn.
And then let's see, there's duties that you get to do. So obviously everyone gets assigned like a cleaning duty. So I was a high sweeper, so I literally swept the ceilings, and that was it.
I was an alternate EC monitor.
Yeah.
Literally the Gucciest job you can get, because the EC monitor is the guy that makes all the EC schedules. So it's like entry control point duty, where it's 2 guys for 2-hour shifts for like, I don't know how many shifts there are, but it's throughout the night and the day once you get far enough in the week, that have to just stand by the door and control the entry into your room pretty much. And so I was the alternate monitor. So I literally did nothing. That was all I did. While everybody's doing chores, I'm just sitting there like writing letters, because I'm acting like I'm making a schedule, but I was really just writing letters to my mom. So I was like, I got the best job in the world right now.
Yeah, so there's different ones, latrine, everything down
Laundry.
to, everything that you could think of for cleaning. And then there was kitchen duty when you had to work.
Ooh, yo, KP duty is really when you just want to leave. You're like,
I hated it.
I had
People
that
loved it.
twice. Hell no.
People like volunteered
That was
because you could talk to people, and that's why they did it.
Misery.
Yeah, we had a girl that actually got in a relationship with somebody at KP duty. So
Oh, that's romantic AF.
yeah, they didn't make it. Sorry. So yeah, so this is, God, there's just so many experiences and like things to talk about, and it's so hard to put it in a very short video or even like a video because there's so many things happen. I think the most important thing is people ask a lot about how did you get, like, phone calls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, phone calls are
first one?
Yeah, for like week 4 is when you actually get to call. You get 15 minutes to call whoever you call. And then from like week 4, they do it once a week for the rest of the week. And then like you got BX days where you would go to the BX. And if you got like a phone card for like the payphone, same thing applied. 15 minutes on the payphone to respect other people. And that's how you talk to them.
Yeah, I didn't get it every week, once a week after week 4. I got week 4, week 6, and then you see your family.
Yeah. Also, if you go to the library, you can get on the computers. You can sign into Facebook.
What the?
Oh yeah.
You're trash.
You learn things.
You're
I'm
trash.
telling you, just pay attention to what other people are doing.
Trash.
But yeah, so again, these are me and Logan's experiences. There's a lot that we could talk about.
There's just not enough time. We gave you the basics.
The basics.
Basics of basic. You see what I did there? Punny.
So if you have any extra questions, put them below. Let us know what you thought, and then we will try to get back to you obviously as soon as we can.
Maybe on Instagram or something.
Maybe we'll just extend this a little bit for further questions.
Continuation video perhaps.
That you guys have that we didn't answer, or that you kind of want more into detail, because we're like at a 30-minute mark right now.
Yeah.
So as always, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, you give us a thumbs up, and you have a great day.
Why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy? Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Won't you